than fighting in court, and it is a great way to resolve divorce, employment, or commercial disputes. ADR is now offered through the Nassau County Bar Association. Find out more about how ADR can help resolve your dispute by calling 516-747-4070 or visit nassaubar.org.
This portion of programming on WHPC is brought to you on behalf of the Nassau County Bar Association, helping both the public and lawyers since 1899. They are the largest suburban bar association in the country. The Nassau County Bar Association offers clinics where you can meet privately with an attorney to prevent or solve legal problems involving Hurricane Sandy, foreclosure, wills, or elder law. Speakers on almost any legal topic are also available to schools or community groups. They can also help lawyers advance their legal careers and offer a place to network. Learn more about the Nassau County Bar Association by calling 516-747-4070 or visit nassaubar.org.
Once again, we continue with Law You Should Know. From the Mineola Law Firm of Shane, Dox, Denise, Corker, and Sauer, here is attorney Kenneth J. Landau.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome back to Law You Should Know. We're talking about long-term care insurance, especially options available and why it's so important, with Natalie Karp, and she is the head of Long-Term Care Insurance Solutions located in Roslyn and advising people all over the New York area. Natalie, you mentioned, we talked about why it's so good, why it provides an alternative to Medicaid and the idea of divesting yourself of your assets. Tell us about some of the evolution of long-term care insurance and the new ways that it's used by and benefits people.
Thank you, Ken. This is a fantastic point. Long-term care has grown up over the last 27, 30 years to be very responsive to the way consumers want to purchase this. When it started, it was traditional or standalone LTC. Some refer to that as a use it or lose it concept. Now we have asset-based solutions, and that means the combination of life insurance with long-term care insurance. And so specifically, it's using life insurance as the chassis and leveraging that for long-term care insurance. So you can do that with a whole life policy. You can do it with a guaranteed universal life. You can do it with universal lives that are non-guaranteed. So basically, clients can come to the table to say they want LTC, they want death benefit, they want cash value. They can have everything they want. They just need to rank the order. What's most important? If death benefit is most important, they might consider life with a rider. If long-term care is the only thing they want to solve for, they might look at traditional long-term care but do shared care riders for spouses. And again, asset-based solutions are fantastic solutions so that the client has a choice of life, of death benefit or long-term care insurance. So we like to call these live, die, or change your mind plans.
And you mentioned earlier that the important to apply early before there's a health issue. You have a better chance of qualifying and getting a favorable rate. Are there some exclusions if you've had some health issue?
Insurance carriers all have sweet spots, but generally speaking, the carriers want to see that your issue is stable and resolved. So let's talk about some common issues. Osteoporosis, hip replacement, knee replacement. All those things are generally insurable if we have resolution and stability. Things that are very difficult to insure are neurological conditions. So if we have Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, these conditions are not insurable.
Now, we see greater trend toward genetic testing, which there may or may not be genetic tests for some of these things. How does genetic testing play into it? Are they allowed to request genetic testing or look at any genetic testing that you might have had?
Sure. You have an obligation to disclose everything on an application.
If they ask.
If they ask, and on an interview. So if you do have knowledge of genetic of information from a genetic test, yes, you do have to share. So when our younger clients that we've seen this summer who are in their 30s all were thinking about doing genetic testing and were advised to do their long-term care insurance well in advance of any genetic testing.
Because ignorance is okay.
Because if you don't have genetic testing and you don't have information, you're not omitting anything from the insurance company.
Okay, and once you still get the benefit, once you started getting the benefits, do you still have to pay the premiums?
You do not. So there's an automatic, generally speaking, on traditional long-term care, there's an automatic waiver of premium. On the asset-based solution, so here's where it differs. Traditional LTC, automatic waiver of premium. When you're talking about linked benefits or asset-based solutions or hybrids, those words are used interchangeably. In many cases, you must continue to pay your premium.
And what if you retire? Do you still have to keep paying?
Yes, it has nothing to do with retirement.
Or age.
Correct. So again, the asset-based solutions are typically limited pay, guaranteed premium. So if you bought a 10-pay, and you had a premium of $10,000 for 10 years, and you have satisfied your premium over those 10 years, you are fully paid up.
So you can sort of prepay for, or pay it up front.
Absolutely. You can structure this to be very to really blend in with your lifestyle and your work life. So if you're retiring at 65, you can design it so that it meets those, generally speaking.
And this is especially important for women. Why is that true?
Women live longer and are more likely to be living alone. And again, women are, today, 2/3 of the claims. So we are more likely to claim, more likely to be living alone in later life, and again, longevity. So the conversation really is longevity for everybody, but women are 2/3 of the claimants.
Okay, and was there any other information you wanted to convey? Obviously, it's very complicated, and that's why you're an expert in the various nuances of long-term care insurance, and it's much different than buying insurance on the internet or buying a standard, disability or, let's say, life insurance policy.
Right. There's no one-size-fits-all, so I think the best thing people can do is to really get educated. Look at the options, get educated, look at everything side by side, not in a silo. You really want to get educated. So I'd say, number one, getting educated is your best bet. Number two, the government wants you off the payroll. They don't want you on Medicaid. So they're encouraging you as a consumer and you as a business owner in all sorts of ways. There's tax incentives. Number one, New York State gives a 20% tax credit on your annual premium. If you're a business owner, there are more deductions. If you have cash value in a life insurance policy or an annuity, you can move tax-hostile money into a tax-friendly LTC plan. So there's many, many ways to plan. If you work for a big corporation and have an HSA plan, you can use your HSA dollars to pay your long-term care insurance premium. So lots of incentives by the government to encourage people to take action, because planning, putting yourself in control is always going to give you the best set of solutions.
And as you mentioned earlier, having long-term care insurance as opposed to Medicaid is going to leave you and your family in control.
Absolutely. So it's about your family. It's about your independence. It's about being in control. And government programs are limited and continuing to
shrink.
To be more limited.
And you and your company are available to consult with individuals, with accountants, lawyers, financial planners to help their clients and help individuals find the best possible long-term care solution.
Absolutely. We educate them. We take them step by step through the process. We look at every option. So when they make a decision on a plan, they have a tremendous amount of information and they're confident in their decision. And we're independent. So we don't have favorites. We are agnostic when it comes to carrier.
And do you have more information about long-term care insurance and the many variables available on your website?
Our website has got a tremendous amount of resources, www.karploshak.com. So we do a tremendous amount of public speaking. We do continuing ed, give CE credits, and certainly tax forms, IRC codes, news articles. There's an education waiting for you.
And are there any other misnomers or misconceptions about long-term care insurance you would like to dispel?
I think there's 3 misnomers. I'm too old, I'm too young. So those are not true. Generally, we can solve for that. And it's too expensive. Plans are customized to absolutely be designed to fit your lifestyle and budget. So I can tell you with a great deal of confidence, if you have good health, we can find a budget that's suitable.
And is another misnomer, I'm too healthy?
Too healthy is a good problem.
And then you want to take it while you're too healthy, because health only goes downhill.
Listen, it's like getting a loan from the bank. When they're throwing the money at you when you don't need it, but when you do need it, it's hard to get. So you always want to do something when you are going to be in the best
in the driver's seat,
the place of strength.
This is going to get you in the driver's seat later on, and to take advantage of it fully and at the lowest cost, you want to be in the driver's seat now.
You want to be in the driver's seat with an education, and then you're empowered to make great choices, and those choices are going to set you up. So if you spend 10 minutes on the front end to have a conversation, we probably spend about 10 hours to get you to the place that in 10, 20, and 30 years from now, you'll be very happy you spent that time.
And don't just think of it in terms of yourselves, and think of it in terms of your relatives who are getting older.
It's really important when you have a family you love and people you care about, you want to protect them. And certainly if you're a woman living alone, a man living alone, if you
don't have children.
If you don't have children, you really want to make sure that you've got a plan.
Okay, I'd like to thank our guest, Natalie Karp of Karp Loshak Long-Term Care Solutions. Keep in mind, whatever you've heard is presented as information only. You should get legal or financial advice from your professional. You're listening to 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. This information and most of the programs of Law You Should Know are available as a free podcast by searching WHPC on iTunes or Spreaker.com, Spreaker. And please join us next week at the same time for another program on Law You Should Know.